Hello and welcome back to the Fight for Liberty podcast. I'm your host, JJ, and I'll be hosting this week's episode alongside my wonderful co host, Alfie.
Hey,
How's it going, Alfie?
it's going well. Just hectic week, but I got it under control. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. I also have had a busy week. Not, I wouldn't call mine hectic per se, but I would say busy. But I'm hanging in there, hanging in there. This is the 17th episode.
Yeah.
We As you may have missed, we missed last week. Um, and we missed the stream week before last, but we're here now. Obviously, we warned that we would miss certain weeks, and we've been pretty consistent. We haven't missed many, but we missed last week, so we're sorry about that. But
Yeah.
here we are.
Yeah, for the most part, we have been really consistent.
I think that was the first one we missed since Christmas, and the Christmas one is warranted because it's Christmas. You got to celebrate
Yeah.
someone's birthday. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Um, So yeah, we're here now. We're gonna obviously remain as consistent as we can. Clearly, we're not slacking too terribly, but you know, just to voice our apologies, we did miss last week. Anything else we need to say, or should we get into it?
No. Yeah, I think that's it. Just yeah, we missed last week, but you already said that. But
Yes, yes.
yeah.
Okay. Let's see. First article up here. This comes from MSN News. Headline reads Germany issues warning to United States amid, quote, deep rift. German Chancellor Frederick Merz has warned of a, quote, deep rift between Europe and the United States, arguing that the latter, quote, will not be powerful enough to go it alone. Okay, let me stop you right there. So Frederick Merz says that there's going to be that there is a deep rift between the United States and Europe, and that the United States is not powerful enough to go on without Europe.
All right, buddy.
Before we even continue, Alfie, what are your thoughts on this?
I think they Germany, you better watch it.
Yeah,
1918, 1945. Just saying.
yeah. Let's go year for year. um, that's really bold. I was not really expecting him to
Yeah,
go that.
you guys better watch it. We're America, just in case you forgot.
Not powerful enough to go it alone. Europe should be careful of a deep rift.
Yeah,
Excuse me.
bless
Thank you. Um, in his address at um, man, the sneeze threw me off. Uh, in his address at the Munich Security Conference Friday, Merz urged Europe and the U.S. to, quote, repair and revive transatlantic trust together in what he referred to as an quote era of great power rivalry. Switching to English as he addressed American, quote, friends. Oh, so he was saying that in German and then he switched to English to say this next part. He nodded to Trump's contentious relationship with NATO, insisting that, quote, being a part of the alliance is not only Europe's competitive advantage, it's also the United States' competitive advantage. He just doesn't want to lose funding, is what it sounds like to me. He knows if United States, the only rift that'll be caused will be the rift in Europe's wallet.
There's really like I don't want to say like they've been 100% useless in NATO, but
99.
yeah, I would say that like the most that they've helped us when we were in distress was 9/11. That was the first time Article 5 was invoked,
Yeah.
and first and only time. But other than that, I've said this before in other podcasts. We've been the majority contributor, and I mean that's just backed by basic facts and statistics.
Yeah, this statement is almost it would be akin to something like somebody being like, "Hey, you don't want to stop paying me money because it could cause a divide between us." When in reality, he's not actually it doesn't appear that I mean, from the facts, it doesn't appear that he's trying to do it for America's best interest. He clearly has Germany's best interest in mind when he's saying this stuff.
Yeah, freeloaders. No, I'm just kidding. Well, kind of.
To all of our German viewers, comment your thoughts on this.
Yeah,
While he while he acknowledged that the existing global order has been flawed, MERS, when discussing the quote under destruction end quote theme of this year's conference, argued the quote international order based on rights and rules is currently being destroyed. He also referenced Vice President J.D. Vance's speech from last year's conference. Vance drew ire from European leaders when he argued that what concerned him most was Europe's quote threat from within, the retreat of Europe from some of its most fundamental values shared with the United States of America, quote, end quote. He used free speech as an example of the values in retreat.
I agree.
Yeah. Yeah, no. I mean, I don't think that that's ridiculous to say. I mean, that seems kind of I wouldn't say common knowledge, but I would say pretty well known, especially if you're a
Yeah,
German.
a lot
Actually, we're
of
gonna
the
say so much. We're gonna get our podcast banned in Germany and in England.
good.
Good.
Your Stammer is gonna ban us.
Yeah,
And this guy
it's
here,
good.
what's his name? Frederick
MERS.
Mers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, the quote, the culture war of the MAGA movement is not ours. End quote. MERS continued. Freedom of speech ends here with us when that speech goes against human dignity and the Constitution. We do not believe in tariffs and protectionism, but in free trade. What are your thoughts on that
What
statement?
what is he talking about when he says speech that goes against human dignity? Is he talking about hate speech?
Probably because that
I
is
don't know.
really the law over there is hate speech. There's certain phrases that are considered hate speech that are just illegal to say, I believe, in certain circumstances.
Yeah.
So I think in
I
terms of free speech, the biggest disconnect is that they do ban hate speech.
I would have to look into that a little more. I think I'm a little more well versed in uh Britain's or the UK's like their kind of laws and what they've done, their reputation. I
Mhm.
don't know too much about what Germany has done, but if it's pretty,
It's similar.
uh, is it on par with, or essentially?
It's not. I wouldn't say it's fully on par, but it is very similar. Yeah, to my knowledge.
Well, I'd have to be against Germany on this one because if they're like anything like Starmer or however you say his name, you're you're against liberty.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I
Um.
don't know if they're like making mass arrests the UK was doing, but
Well, I know that the laws in place there have been in place there longer than the ones in the UK, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
The UK laws have just recently been enforced a lot tighter,
Is
so
it
that could
like
also be
more
part of it.
like a more brutal enforcement too?
The
Because like I've
UK,
never, yeah, because I haven't
I think
seen
so.
really like it videos of um like German police like arresting people for Twitter posts.
Maybe they just don't talk over there.
They
Maybe
just they're
they just all speak
they're just scared to
telepathically.
speak out.
Yeah,
Need to
yeah, they're
liberate them again.
yeah. You don't see them get arrested because they just don't say a word.
Yeah.
Um. Okay, let's see. The German leader appeared to make further strides to distinguish Europe from the Trump administration, adding, quote, "We stick to climate agreements and the World Health Organization because we are convinced that global challenges can only be solved together." Again, it just sounds like he
Come on.
really just doesn't want to lose the America's money from them leaving NATO. It's not about the together aspect, in my opinion. I could be misreading this, but that's my take on it. On January 22nd, the U.S., under Trump's direction, officially pulled out of the WHO, the World Health Organization. The move has garnered much criticism from global health experts. Time has reached out. Time magazine has reached out to the White House for comment on MERS's comment as Europe take takes part in ongoing negotiations regarding the hope for a ceasefire in the Russia-Ukraine conflict. MERS says he has also started private talks with French President Emmanuel Macron. That's man. Emmanuel does not add the Macron sounds very French though. About quote nuclear deterrence. Here's an image of him for the viewer. This was an image of what he looked like
And like
on
duck clips.
while he was given the wait. What'd she say?
So it looks like he's like doing duck clips for a second.
Yeah, that'd be crazy. Anyway, MERS concerns also echo those made by Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney in Davos in January. Speaking at the World Economic Forum, Carney argued that the old world order was, quote, not coming back, end quote, and encouraged people not to, quote, mourn the way things used to be. He accused great powers of using economic pressure to yield results while urging middle powers to push back. Um, Carney's remarks were delivered shortly after Trump threatened to tariff countries who oppose his campaign to annex Greenland. I think we talked about that in not last episode, but episode before last. Last we talked about Greenland. If you guys are interested in our take on that, go back and watch the episode. And if it's not that episode, you're gonna have to watch them all to figure out which episode. I
Oopsie.
don't make the rules. Yeah. um, and a threat he has since walked back. So he changed his mind about upping the tariffs on people who oppose his campaign. Trump later lashed out in response to Carney's speech. The U.S. president will not be appearing at the Munich Security Conference. Instead, Secretary of State Marco Rubio will represent the U.S. on Saturday and deliver a highly anticipated speech.
Was that tomorrow? When was
Uh,
this article? 4 hours ago.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, that would be tomorrow. We're recording this on Friday the 13th. Ooh, spooky!
Friday the 13th.
Oh,
I
spooky!
didn't even realize that.
Yeah, I didn't realize either. That's interesting.
Saturday the
um,
14th is
we were
Valentine's Day.
yeah, true. We were gonna do a special thing for the episode because it's Friday the 13th. But then neither of us knew it was Friday the 13th, so we didn't. um,
Yep.
that was dumb. That was a dumb joke. I take that one
It's
back.
okay.
Rubio also warned of a quote new era in geopolitics as he boarded his flight to Germany. When asked if his message to Europeans will take a softer approach than Vance's address last year, Rubio told reporters, "What? when he's referring to the address last year, are they talking about what we just read about the free speech?
Yeah.
That was oh, so they want something softer than just stating facts? Um,
Wait, was that Rubio saying that?
no. Somebody asked if his message will be softer than JD Vance's,
Oh, oh.
which is
What did
implying
he
that JD
reply?
Vance went hard on them. He replied, quote, "The world is changing very fast right in front of us. We live in a new era in geopolitics, and it's going to require all of us to sort of re-examine what that looks like and what our role is going to be." Just answer the question, bro. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, no, I agree. It is changing very fast. We do live in a really interesting time right now politically. Dare I say different than it's ever been in a lot of ways.
Yeah. Changing very rapidly, like every year.
Yes. It even like well just look at 10 years ago. Look at the 2016 election, dude, compared to right now. It's wildly different.
Yeah. A lot has changed.
Yeah, it's bonkers. He's not wrong in saying this. Um On Friday afternoon, the U.S. Department of State confirmed that Rubio and Merz had met in Munich after the German chancellor's speech. Quote, they discussed pressing global issues or global challenges, including securing supply chain, advancing efforts to end the Russia Ukraine war, and strengthening the partnership between the United States and Europe, said a spokesperson. The secretary expressed appreciation for Germany's strong support for Ukraine, including over $76 billion in assistance since 2022. Wow. Wow. And discussed continued coordination on reconstruction efforts. And that is the end of that article. What do you think about this overall? Just the article overall. What are your thoughts?
I think the headline to me is just kind of odd.
The
Like,
headline of the article?
yeah, Germany issues warning to United States amid deep rift.
Agreed.
Come on, what are you gonna do? You're
Yeah, the first just that
probably
what was that statement where he said, "Oh,
being
will not be powerful enough to go it alone." Okay.
all right,
Okay.
buddy, pal.
Um, yeah, I don't I think that that is a little I don't know what I don't know a proper word to use to describe that type of a statement. A little bold, I would say. It feels kind of unnecessary in a way. I don't know what he's trying to necessarily accomplish with what's essentially a threat of sorts, or I don't know what it's trying to be. I don't understand his intent with saying that we're not going to be powerful enough to go alone if Europe and the United States separate. What do you think? What's your interpretation on his intent?
I don't know what he means by go it alone. Like just continue on.
Yeah, just live, I guess,
I
as a
mean,
country. Like, that's what I'm saying. I don't understand his intent.
maybe he's just trying to.
Just trying to sound cool.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, like we have the like we have a drastically higher defense budget than the next.
Yeah,
I I yeah, I don't know. I see means everyone's gonna go to war with us, but
every
even with that,
country.
every single country. Even with that, I think we could take on like half the world. But
Oh my gosh. Every country and we win. Earth just changes to the United States
United
of
States
Earth.
of Earth. Or we just turn into like Super Earth from Helldivers.
Yes, exactly. um, yeah, I don't know. It feels really weird. Um, Trump's. I don't think Trump's just gonna hear and be like, "Oh, makes a good point." I better listen to him. I don't know if we will be powerful enough to go it alone. Like Trump does not. I mean, we've
No,
had him in
that's
office
not
for
true
so
at
long.
all.
We've had him in office for so long. They should know that that is just not how Trump operates, and that it's just like kind of a waste of breath
Yeah.
in a way. But yeah, that was
Yeah. I mean, I just it's just weird how like, the Europeans are like scrambling, like trying to guilt trip us for trying to, make it so that they pay their fair share, and they get all mad when we try to pull out of stuff.
yeah,
The Europeans, they like to make fun of us until it's wartime.
yeah. Then they're very friendly with us.
Yeah.
That's a good point. Um, let's see. Anything else you want to say on the article?
Mm. Like I said earlier, watch out, Germany.
Yeah.
You might have to be called the American German states or something. You'll be our 52nd state after.
And Greenland as well.
Yeah.
No, I mean again, as we spoke about Greenland on a past podcast. So if you're
Oh,
interested,
and I got an idea.
check it out. What?
We're gonna rename. We're gonna rename the city Hamburg to Big Mac.
Yes. Wait, that's fire. Big Mac. We rename every city
Yeah,
to something American
Americanize it.
themed. Yeah.
Yeah.
You call them all Trump City. That's
Trump.
where are you going? Oh, Trump City. Which one? Okay.
The
Moving
one,
on to
the
the
one on the in over there.
they don't even use like north and south. They just use Trump for every location as well, every direction. Okay. Um, moving on to the next article. The source for this one is The Week. It says right here, headline reads, U.S. to send 200 troops to Nigeria to train army. Um, oh, that's kind of cool. So this article breaks it down in an interesting way. So it asks a question and then it answers a question. So I'm just going to read it like that.
I don't think we've
Uh,
used this source before. This is a pretty new one.
yeah, I don't think we've used this source either. I like the way it's formatted though. It's going to be easier for me. There's this image along with it. I'll show that now. Okay. Again, if you're on, or not again, but if you're on Spotify and you want to see what we're talking about, YouTube or Twitch if you want to watch it live. Okay, it says first, so I'm just going to read the question and then the answer. First question: what happened? The Trump administration is sending about 200 troops to Nigeria to help train its military to fight Islamist militants. U.S. and Nigerian officials said on Tuesday. Oh, this article was posted 2 days ago. It says, okay. The deployment comes week after President Donald Trump accused Nigeria's government of failing to protect Christians from terrorist attacks in the West African country. Next question says, who said what? The quote, fresh U.S. forces will supplement a handful of U.S. military personnel already in Nigeria, end quote, to help local military units identify targets for military strikes. The Wall Street Journal said Trump late last year threatened to send in the U.S. troops, quote, guns ablazing, to avenge what he called a Christian genocide. But in this deployment, U.S. troops weren't able to be involved in direct conflict or in direct combat or operations. Nigerian military spokesman Major General Samalia Ubman told the Journal. This quote startling turn in U.S. Nigerian relations follows an intense, years long push led by Christian activists, Republican lawmakers, and American celebrities seeking U.S. intervention in Nigeria's long simmering security crisis, the New York Times said. Nigeria rejected Trump's claim that it has failed to protect Christians, but quote U.S. military leaders who for years have complained about prickly relations with the Nigerian military say the shift has opened the door to increased intelligence sharing and military planning. End quote. Next question here it says, "What's next?" The new U.S. forces are, quote, expected to arrive in Nigeria over the coming weeks, the journal said. Just how effective the increased U.S. involvement in Nigeria has been or will be is an open question, the Times said. Man, so this article just quotes every other news source ever. I think it's quoted like 8 different news articles.
It's like someone's school project or something.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, the Times said a salvo of U.S. quote Tomahawk missiles fired on December 25th, valued at about $32 million, landed in overwhelmingly Muslim northwest Nigeria, but mostly hit empty fields and vacant militant hideouts, according to resident. And that is the end of that. Oh, no, it's not a school project. It's a grown man who wrote this article. He's been working here for 4 years. Anyway, um, what are your thoughts on the whole situation, but specifically what's talked about in the article?
Um, Specifically in the article, I think that this could be really good if uh he follows through with it and he does send military. And I think they're talking about training, right? That
Yeah,
was the help train the military. See, yeah, I think that could be really good. And I think it's pretty funny, honestly, that that Nigerian government has rejected the claims that they failed to protect Christians when I have seen a lot of Nigerians speak out
mhm.
and say that Christians are not safe in Nigeria. But
Yeah,
I think I think this could be really good. I'm hopeful. I think it's better than I think like just looking at it from the surface level, like it could be arguably better than like how it was with Maduro.
mhm.
Like like our
Handled
direct
better, you mean?
involvement versus helping them. What's that?
Oh, I see. Like how you're saying better in terms of how we handle it, or what do you mean by better?
I think it just could be how do I want to phrase this? Like I think on like it would be better to have the people of Nigeria have more jurisdiction over, themselves, especially like, the people that are oppressed there. Like if they're the ones doing the action rather than, the, the Trump going in, well, not him, but sending people in to get
Him
Maduro,
himself.
for example.
Yes. No,
If that makes
I see
sense.
what you yes, that does make sense. Nigeria handling it themselves as opposed to America swooping in and fixing it all is what
Yeah,
essentially.
but yeah, I say that's better because especially because there was like a lot of criticism like oh like how illegal and terrible it was for Maduro. Um and now like there's less to be said in criticism if they're the ones that defeat the extremists, Islamic
Yeah.
extremists.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Harder to critique a country for doing what the country does as opposed to doing something completely fresh, if that makes sense. Like you doing it for them as opposed to them doing it themselves.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yes. I know, I agree. Yeah. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. This article doesn't specify. I wonder when all that's set to happen.
Yeah, this source
So
was
re-
kind of I want to try something new, but this source wasn't too descriptive.
no, and this source literally was just other sources just hodgepodge together.
Yeah.
I don't know. It wasn't terrible, but yeah, it wasn't very descriptive overall. Yeah, anything else you'd like to say on the article before moving on?
I just really hope that the persecution can stop of
Agreed.
Christians worldwide, but especially in Nigeria, 'cause that's been a hot topic in the past few months.
Yes. Yeah, I'm in full agreement. Um, let's see, where are we at? 31 minutes. It's probably a good time to wrap it up.
Yeah.
Anything else we'd like to say on the way out?
Um, we're gonna try to do next week's episode, but it may be a little too busy just because certain events. But if
Yes,
not,
brace
then
yourself. We may not be there.
we may not.
Yes.
Um, but if not, then the next week that that will be the plan. If not next week, then the week after.
Yes, yes, for sure. And with that, thank you for watching, and we will be seeing you next time.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. The fight for liberty.